first episode of How to Thrive, we looked at the problems of modern life. We looked particularly at stress. We looked at how we should be trying to achieve a balanced life. We saw how we experience background stress from the things of everyday life, and how we have a resilience threshold, the point at which our usual coping strategies give out, when we can experience feeling overwhelmed by everything. We can do things to help reduce background stress and enhance our resilience, so we don't hit our resilience threshold and have a buckaroo moment. My name's J Mordue, lecturer in social work and an advocate for how self-care and being organised can fuel productivity both at work and at home. The first thing we're going to explore is sleep. Let's look at where sleep fits into self-care. Productivity is at the centre. Being productive isn't just about creating things or ticking things off a list. We can be productive at work and play, and also productive in our rest and recuperation. Doing nothing can sometimes be just as productive as doing something, as it gives us precious time to switch off. The three essential components of self-care are sleep, exercise, and nutrition, and we look at all of these and more throughout this series. Getting these things right can fuel our productivity from a biological and psychological perspective. How we are physically has an impact on how we are mentally, and it works the other way as well. Surrounding all of this is being organised. If we're not organised, then how do we know what is to do, and how do we fit it all in? Sleep is at the foundation of the triangle because for me it's the bedrock of our well-being. If you are not sleeping well, then you will struggle to be motivated, to feel positive about things, and have the energy to get on and do. Morning. How did you sleep?
Like a baby.
What? You woke up 3 times crying and needed to be fed?
No. Well, I slept like a log then. And you?
Well, you know me. Could fall asleep on a clothesline. I love the language around sleep. I've always been fortunate, and I'm indeed one of those people who can fall asleep on a clothesline. This fascinating phrase comes from early in the 20th century when homeless people in London who couldn't afford a bed for the night could pay to sleep over a clothesline. It must have been a difficult way to get some shut-eye. So those who can overcome that discomfort and fall asleep on a clothesline can fall asleep easily. Let's explore sleep. The World Health Organization and the National Sleep Foundation tell us something we probably already know. We need about 8 hours of sleep per night. Matthew Walker has devoted a huge part of his life to studying sleep, and in his excellent book, Why We Sleep, he says, routinely sleeping less than 6 or 7 hours a night demolishes your immune system, more than doubling your risk of cancer. Insufficient sleep is a key lifestyle factor determining whether or not you develop Alzheimer's disease. Inadequate sleep, even a moderate reduction for just 1 week, disrupts blood sugar levels so profoundly that you'd be classed as pre-diabetic. There's a clear link here between sleep and our physical health, but there's also an impact on our mental health. You don't need me to tell you that if you're tired, you're not at your best. Indeed, the research confirms, if we needed confirmation, that we experience poor cognitive processing, a lack of ability to plan and problem solve, and it leaves us prone to being at the mercy of our emotions, sometimes responding impulsively and lacking self-control. It's estimated that sleep deprivation costs between $2,000 and $3,000 per year as a consequence of lost productivity. It's not just the quantity of sleep that's important, but also the quality. So much goes on during the night that we need to get the right amount of sleep at the right time in our biological cycle. We should try to get to bed at around 10 or 10:30, and getting up around 6 or 6:30 is what we should be aiming for. This keeps us in tune with our biological circadian rhythm. Over 80 years ago in 1938, Professor Nathaniel Kleitman and his research assistant Bruce Richardson from the University of Chicago became their very own research project. They took a trip to Kentucky and entered Mammoth Cave with enough supplies to last them 6 weeks. Mammoth Cave is one of the deepest caves on the planet, so no light penetrates its depths. In the cave, they set about living in darkness to see what happened. Their work established that we have a biological circadian rhythm of about 24 hours, and it showed that in the absence of the external stimuli of light, we do not descend into a chaotic random sequence of waking and sleeping. They discovered they were awake for about 15 hours and then asleep for about 9 hours. Does that sound familiar? During our sleep, we cycle between NREM and REM sleep. Both have different functions. This process is particularly important for consolidating short-term memories into long-term memory. Matthew Walker says it's like pressing save on the computer. Good sleep reduces the negative feelings we experience when we're placed under stress. We are better able to cope with the day. This is possibly due to how much psychological energy we have to confront a situation and get things done. In a 2018 study of 600,000 adults, it was found that those achieving 7 to 8 hours sleep had the lowest number of health risk factors, the smallest productivity losses, and the lower odds of having health conditions. In Dr. Chatterjee's book, The 4-Pillar Plan, he says good sleep leads to improved concentration, increased energy, a greater capacity to learn, the ability to make better food choices, an improvement in immune system function, better memory, increased life expectancy, an improvement in the way the body clears out damaged cells, a reduced risk of being overweight, reduced stress levels, and a reduced risk of developing chronic disease. So how do we enhance our sleep? Start by sleeping at regular times. Get to bed between 10 and 10:30 and get up between 6 and 6:30 every day of the week, including weekends. Lying in on a weekend doesn't help regulate your sleeping. Wind down with a warm bath. A warm bath draws the blood to the surface of your body, reducing your core temperature, helping you get to sleep. Maybe do some relaxation exercises like yoga or listen to a relaxation CD. Write a to-do list for tomorrow. Doing this helps get those things out of your head that you're trying to remember. Distract the mind, read a book, listen to a radio. Your bedroom should be a relaxing environment. No TV, no loud noises, no ticking clocks. It should be dark. Have a comfortable bed and pillows. Keep your bedroom quiet, keep it tidy, keep it at a nice temperature. If you find you're having problems with sleep, keep a sleep diary. Sometimes people need to go to the doctors to seek medical advice to improve their sleep. But you could always try these things first.